Hi, and welcome back to my course. In this section, we will see how to take the first steps inside the viewport of Unreal Engine. As already mentioned, the viewport of Unreal Engine 5 represents the heart of all activities. It is here that we will create our world. If you remember, initially we created an empty project, so currently if I view the content folder, it appears completely empty. Let's create a new level. Remember that it is possible to create a new level in different ways. For example, we could create a new folder called Levels. Move to the right part of the content, right-click and choose Level from the drop-down menu. Or we could go to the menu bar, click on File, and then New Level. In the latter case, a window will open from which you can select the desired type of level. In our case, we will choose the last one on the list, Empty Level. Let's click on Create. Now we will try to populate our viewport by referencing classes from the Place Actors panel. If it's not visible, let's go to Windows and choose Place Actors. Let's get familiar with this panel. To instantiate a class, we just need to go to the search field and type the name of the desired actor. For example, in our case, we will type Cube. Let's drag the cube into the viewport to instantiate a copy. Remember that, since our level is completely empty, we may need to rely on an unlit view, which we will see later in this course. Now, in the World Outliner, let's select the object and reset the location values by simply clicking on this arrow. Then, still in the Place Actor panel, let's search for a plane and reference a copy of it in the viewport. Let's reset its location values and set its scale values to 10. Now let's select the cube and move it up by 50 units on the Z-axis. Another important concept to keep in mind is that Unreal Engine uses Unreal Units, UU, which correspond to 1 unit equal sign 1 centimeter. Now we should have a cube perfectly resting on the plane. Let's now see how to move around in the viewport. With the right mouse button pressed and dragging the mouse, we perform a scene orbit. With the middle mouse button pressed, we can pan the scene. We can also do the same pan using the directional keys. By using the mouse wheel, we can zoom in and out. This process is sensitive to the mouse pointer in the planimetric views. That is, if I get into the top view and leave the pointer on the cube, the zoom will happen exactly on it. If we select an object in the viewport and press the F key on the keyboard, we get a focus on the object. The same thing happens if we double-click on it in the World Outliner. In addition, we have the modifiers bar to transform the object in space. If we select the cube, for example, a manipulator will appear that will allow us to move, rotate, and scale the object in space using the respective commands. Through keyboard shortcuts, WER, we can move between the various transformation commands, move, rotate, and scale. There are many available shortcuts, and usually you can read them next to the invoked command. For example, with Alt+J, I am taken back to a top view. This panel at the top left allows us to move between various views, perspective, and planner, and allows us to set a default or cinematic view, the latter being very useful when working with cine cameras. Then we have the View Mode panel, which allows us to access a series of views with different graphics. For example, we can switch from a realistic view to one without lighting or wireframe. We can also access a series of views that better help to understand the project. That's all for this part. I'll see you in the next lesson.